This is part 2 of our mat board signature album, and my signatures are going to be pockets. I have pictures on either side of the pocket, and there will be tabbed photos that go inside. Then it will fit over the signatures and be adhered that way. So I'm going to show you how to make the pockets that will fit on the album we made, or that we finished, the outside that we finished in the last video. Now I cut these at, oh, let me see, I can't remember. I think the album's 9 1/4. So I cut these at 9 3/4, and the pages are 8 3/4. So I have a 1/2 inch that I need to score on each side. So you can score on your paper cutter, or you can use a scoreboard. You just make one score at a 1/2 inch on both sides of my long paper. So, which was 9 3/4 by 6. And then I fold over on the score, like so, and it should be, and it is, 8 3/4. The other side of the pocket is 8 3/4. So I will remove the double-sided tape on both sides. And on one side, I will put glue. Remember, I want this to stay well adhered. Sometimes you have a little run over. That's why I use a skinny. I lay my page, that's 8 3/4, right beside it. Lined it up. And lay down my hinge. This is on the inside. I'm still not sure where my Teflon bone folder is, so I'll just do that. Okay, now this side will go right there, but before I lay it down, I already have the double-sided tape, but I add a little bit of glue to make it secure. Even though I'm putting one double-sided paper inside these, you don't know what the kids will put in it. So it might get thick. There. That is my pocket. Now on the inside of the pocket, I'm going to put just a little bit of double-sided tape right at the edge. I should have done that before I laid it down, but I forgot about it. Okay. I kept the cover on one side, and I laid it down. Now I'm going to decorate this. Now I found if I printed my papers, this one's been cut out for tabs, but if I printed a full 8 1/2 by 11 paper, that's how I designed this. So when I cut this in half at 5 1/2, it would leave a nice little border. And I'm leaving a bigger border for the signature part. So these papers that you can print up, I printed them at 8 1/2 by 11. Now I take the covers, you don't have to do, there's not a lot of pressure on this. So I just put one down the middle, and then I make a picture frame of adhesive. And that seems to hold it well. If you're going to be adding a waterfall or something like that, I would add more glue. In fact, if I was going to do a waterfall, this is my first page and I'm not, but if I was, I would put a lot of glue, like so. But you don't have to do that. So this is where it meets in the spine, and then I put it with a little bit of edge all around. Now the back of it is decorated the same way. You do want to think 2 pages at a time. The first one, you just pick your cover. Then you want to think 2 pages at a time when you decorate it. Now, the last step of this is just to make something to go inside all these pockets. And I made little tabs for the pockets. I will let this dry before we add this as a signature. We probably could do that right away. Why don't I just add the first page? I think it's dry enough. Let's see. It's not coming apart. So why don't I add that right away so you'll know how to put a signature on. I take a little bit of double-sided tape and I fold it down the cover like so. And I do the same thing on the back. That way, when I go to remove it, it's really easy to take off. You can either start at the front or the back. This time I'm starting at the front. And whatever you do on the first one is what's going to line up your next ones. Now on the inside, remember I put one little piece right there of double-sided tape. I'm going to fold that so I can get it out easy. Then I'm going to take my skinny glue and run it right along it, right beside it. Can be over it. Sometimes I have to trim my pockets if I do put too much glue. I'm going to just touch it gently. That'll put glue on both sides. Then I'm going to remove my tape here. I'm going to lay it over my signature. Now, one thing I didn't show you on the signature spine was I had angled the edges so it'll be really easy to make sure it fits. Right now, I just want to make sure it looks straight. Remember, this is going to be our guide for all the others. Just trying to center it so it's the same amount top and bottom.